The Soviet Union was first to attempt to land on Mars. Sputnik 24 failed. Mars 2 crashed into the Martian surface, but it was Mars 3 that was actually first to properly land on the red planet.
Mars, often dubbed the Red Planet, has captivated humanity's imagination for centuries. This fourth planet from the Sun is not merely a distant celestial body. It embodies a realm of mystery and potential that has spurred countless explorations and scientific inquiries. With its striking rusty hue caused by iron oxide on its surface, Mars evokes curiosity about its geological past, its atmospheric conditions, and the possibility of life. The latest revelations from NASA's Mars rover have not only deepened our understanding, but also introduced unsettling images that may forever change our perspective on this alien world. As we delve into the depths of these chilling discoveries, we will uncover the haunting implications they hold for humanity and our understanding of life beyond Earth. A brief history of Mars exploration. The Mariner missions, which sent the first images of Mars's surface in the 1960s, sparked interest in learning more about the Red Planet. But a giant stride forward in Mars exploration came in the 1970s with the Viking missions. In addition to taking pictures, these missions sought for life signals on Mars, which led to the first comprehensive study of the planet's soil and atmosphere. Although there was no conclusive proof of life, Viking did pave the way for further studies. The Sojourner rover, which debuted during the Mars Pathfinder mission in 1997, demonstrated that robotic vehicles could successfully traverse the Martian landscape, demonstrating the advancement of technology. After this triumph, more advanced rovers like Opportunity and Spirit arrived, and they found signs of previous water flows, suggesting that Mars may have formerly had environments favorable to life. With its cutting-edge scientific equipment, the 2011 launched Curiosity rover elevated this mission to new heights, studying the Martian surface and atmosphere. The results of Curiosity's analysis of Mars's temperature and geology have altered our perception of the Red Planet as a former possible livable zone. The most recent rover, Perseverance, plans to expand upon this understanding by gathering samples for potential return missions and seeking for indications of ancient microbial life. Mars exploration has been an incredible adventure full of firsts that have changed the way we think about the Red Planet. With each new mission, our knowledge grows and lays the groundwork for groundbreaking discoveries to come. Mars is more than simply a faraway planet. The terrifying photos taken by the rovers show that it is a mysterious realm with many unsolved mysteries. Mars, a world of paradox. Mars is a paradoxical planet, with aspects that are practically foreign coexisting with those that are familiar to Earth. Mars has a reputation for having an extremely thin atmosphere that cannot sustain liquid water for very long. However, there is evidence to imply that Mars was once far wetter. Past evidence of free-flowing liquid water is found in ancient riverbeds, dried lakes, and minerals that normally occur in water. As one looks over the ruins of what was once a lush ecosystem, they can't help but wonder if there was life there once. Olympus Mons and other towering volcanoes, as well as deep canyons like Valles Marineris, have been better understood because of the rover's observations of Mars geology. These massive formations reveal a history of erosion and volcanic eruptions, suggesting a past where life may have thrived. But while we learn more about Mars' past, we also face the harsh reality of the planet as it is now. A parched environment plagued by dust storms and freezing temperatures that make life there extremely difficult, if not impossible. Mars may have once been habitable, but the prospect that it died out as the planet got drier and colder is the unsettling part of this contradiction. Every fresh photograph returned by the rovers serves as a stark reminder of the precariousness of life on Earth and the relentless march of planetary evolution. What was once a thriving ecosystem is now a cemetery for all possible forms of life, making us wonder if what we are seeing are the bones of a long-gone planet or the specters of what might have been. Terrifying findings, unsettling Mars images. Unsettling photographs that cast doubt on our understanding of the planet are among the most concerning findings brought to light by the Mars rovers. Images taken by the Perseverance rover that appear to show a big humanoid figure half buried in the Martian sands are one of the most fascinating discoveries. More questions than answers are raised by this unsettling figure, which has qualities that are both familiar and terrifying. Does this look like a random rock formation, or does it portend something darker hiding below? People are both captivated and terrified by these terrifying pictures. Many are wondering if this could be a sign of a Martian culture that has vanished over the eons. Is what we're seeing the fossilization of extinct creatures? Curiosity grows with each new photograph, and people are talking more and more about the possibility of intelligent life on Mars. The concept that these figurines could be artifacts from a long-vanished civilization gives us the willies, sparks our curiosity, and makes us reevaluate our assumptions about our nearby world. In addition, some have speculated that the government is hiding information regarding possible alien life because of the secrecy surrounding these photographs. What else could be concealed beneath the Martian surface, ready to be discovered? The unsettling question lingers as the mystery grows. The nagging issue of whether or not we are ready for the realities that lurk in Mars's shadow lingers with each photo transmitted back to Earth. Martian sounds, a mysterious transmission from the deep. The Perseverance rover has picked up mysterious signals coming from beneath Mars's surface in addition to visual anomalies. At first glance, these signals appeared to be random errors, but closer inspection has shown a continuous pattern, raising the possibility that they have a deliberate source. Disputes on the possible ramifications of these signals have broken out in the scientific community as a result of this discovery. Are these signals a clue of advanced technology or possibly life underground? With every new piece of evidence, the possibility that we are not alone in the cosmos grows stronger. The signal's repetitive pattern begs the question, are they a random occurrence or a clue to a long-gone Martian culture that left behind a technological legacy? This intriguing notion forces us to reevaluate our knowledge of Mars and the likelihood of intelligent life that may have once flourished on its now desolate surface. Calls for additional research are becoming increasingly louder as word of these signals spreads, prompting the use of cutting-edge equipment capable of penetrating deeper into the Martian crust. Scientists are calling for focused missions to investigate the origin of these signals. We may get a whole new perspective on extraterrestrial life if we set out to solve the mystery of these unexplained noises. Martian architecture. Strange structures that have emerged in the rover's photos are one of the most unsettling parts of the latest discovery. Martian geologists have spotted strange structures that seem like old buildings. There are speculations regarding the purpose and origins of these structures, which have led some academics to believe that they may be artifacts from a Martian society that once lived there. The idea that these buildings could have been constructed by sentient creatures makes us reevaluate when life on Mars began. If these structures are man-made, they may indicate that Mars had sophisticated civilizations similar to our own in the past. Not only does this finding shake up our conception of Martian history, but it also raises disturbing concerns regarding what may happen to a culture like that. Did they die out from the extreme conditions on Mars, or did they find a better place in space? The audience is enthralled by the visions of these possible structures, which have ignited imagination and speculation. Scientists can't help but think about the potential consequences for mankind when they examine these structures. We are both excited and terrified by the terrifying idea of finding Martian artifacts from a sophisticated civilization, and we are invited to consider the repercussions of this discovery. Chilling possibilities. Life beneath the surface. Under the surface of Mars, the most significant consequences of exploring the red planet are hidden. The discovery of water ice in multiple places has prompted scientists to wonder if there is life below. Is it possible for any remnants of Martian life that may have been underground to withstand the planet's extreme temperatures and pressures? A mix of awe and fear is generated by the thought of discovering microbes residing below the surface. The mission of Perseverance is to investigate these underground habitats and gather information that could pave the way for the eventual finding of life. The discovery of microbes would revolutionize our view of evolution and biology and alter our whole perspective on extraterrestrial life. This would have far-reaching consequences, raising fresh concerns regarding the beginnings of life and the possibility of other livable planets in our solar system and beyond. The unsettling possibility that Martian soil may conceal life persists as scientists examine the data collected by the rovers. The hunt for Martian life is about more than simply finding ancient artifacts. It's also about finding out where we fit in the cosmos. What an exciting and terrible prospect it is to think that life previously flourished in the Martian depths, suggesting that we are not alone. It forces us to face the mysterious and broadens our definition of humanity. The role of technology in Mars exploration. Our mission to learn about Mars and its mysteries relies heavily on technological advancements. The rovers sent by NASA can study the Martian landscape in ways that were previously unimaginable because of their high-tech instruments. Every rover is basically a makeshift lab that can conduct intricate scientific research on Mars despite the hostile environment. Through the integration of robotics, data analysis, and remote sensing technology, the engineering of these rovers exemplifies the zenith of human invention as it probes a planet millions of miles distant. For example, Perseverance has a number of high-tech instruments, such as the SuperCam, which can remotely examine rock compositions using a laser. Scientists can now determine which minerals are in Martian rocks without touching the rocks themselves, all thanks to this technological advancement. We can now learn a lot more about the planet's geology thanks to these distant analyses. Like a geological survey with a powerful microscope, it lets scientists see into Mars's past without causing any damage to the planet's surface. In addition, Perseverance possesses the revolutionary Mars Oxygen in situ resource utilization experiment, which has effectively converted the carbon dioxide in Mars's tenuous atmosphere into oxygen. This feat is more than just impressive technologically. It could pave the way for future manned expeditions to Mars, where oxygen is crucial to the survival of astronauts. This kind of technological advancement shows how seriously we take the prospect of colonizing Mars, and it opens the door to further investigation of the Red Planet. The future of our planet and beyond may depend on the technological advances made possible by missions to Mars. From enhanced robotics to better environmental monitoring, new technologies that assist Earth life may be developed as a result of ideas made for Mars missions. The secret to comprehending not only Mars, but also our position in the cosmos, lies at the crossroads of exploration and technology. The psychological impact of Mars discoveries. Findings from Mars exploration have far-reaching psychological effects, changing our perspective on our place in the cosmos. Questions of the nature of life, intelligence, and our place in the universe are posed by every new finding. The terrifying pictures recorded by the rovers and the prospect of long-lost cultures make us question our definition of life and the implications of the likelihood that we are not alone. People are more interested in STEM, or science, technology, engineering, and mathematics subjects as a result of the public's infatuation with Mars. Many young people are interested in space travel and planetary science because they believe there is a chance of discovering life or artifacts from previous civilizations. The psychological effects of these findings go far beyond mere curiosity. They mold our shared sense of humanity and our place in the cosmos. The possibility of intelligent life beyond Earth also calls into question established worldviews. The discovery of life on Mars would open a philosophical canonical conversation about creation, evolution, and our position in the universe's grand scheme of things. As humans try to make sense of the prospect of communicating with extraterrestrial species, the ramifications of these kinds of discoveries can make them anxious about the future. Researchers and scientists must also think about how their results may affect people emotionally as they sift through the data collected by the Mars rovers. Exploration and the possibility of existential fear coexist on a finely tuned scale. In the vast unexplored ocean of interplanetary exploration, it will be critical to comprehend the public's reaction to these findings. Chilling evidence of an ancient civilization, worrying evidence that an old Martian society may have existed grows stronger as the Perseverance rover continues its journey. Researchers and amateurs are deeply divided about images that show structures that resemble walls or ruins. Are these the artifacts of a once great civilization? There are some very deep issues regarding the origins of life in the cosmos that are prompted by the possibility that sentient species may have lived on Mars, possibly long before humans emerged on Earth. The alignment and symmetry of the structures cast doubt on the idea that these formations may have occurred as a consequence of natural geological processes, which is something that some researchers have suggested. The photographs taken by the rover have sparked speculation that a technologically sophisticated culture capable of building enormous structures may have once lived on Mars. In light of the terrifying prospect that Mars may have once been home to complex civilizations as well as desolate landscapes, geologists are re-evaluating the red planet's geological past. In addition to reshaping scientific investigation, such a discovery would have far-reaching ramifications for our comprehension of society. What could we learn about the rise and decline of intelligent life on Mars if it did exist? Could we learn anything about the patterns of growth, strife, and demise of human civilizations from their plight? The fascination with this potential urges us to investigate these inquiries, which bring to mind our common cosmic voyage, the mysterious terrain of Mars. The Martian terrain is a fascinating and mysterious painting that serves as a backdrop for scientific research. Curious and awe-inspiring shapes and features pop up as the rovers explore the surface. Each of the planet's enormous plains, lofty mountains, and deep valleys reveals something about its history, but they also leave us with more questions than answers. How did these sceneries come to be? Over the course of billions of years, how did they change? Images taken by curiosity and perseverance show the surface of Mars in breathtaking detail, with features that seem like old riverbeds, deltas, and lakebeds. The complex erosional patterns point to a past where Mars was far more humid, suggesting a history of water movement. These structures fascinate both geologists and the general public because they provide a fascinating window into a possible past where life flourished. However, there are some unsettling aspects to the Martian scenery. Isolation and despair might set in as a result of the mind-bending effects of shadows and the desolate landscape. Photos returned to Earth make us wonder what mysteries may be lurking beneath the surface, while also evoking feelings of isolation and stark beauty. The mysterious beauty of Mars compels us to go deeper into the planet in search of answers that might alter our perception of extraterrestrial life. The Martian ice caps. The polar ice caps of Mars are an intriguing feature that serves to both beautify the planet's surface and shed light on its climatic past. These caps, which are mostly water ice, are constantly changing shape as the seasons come and go. Poles can experience higher temperatures during Martian summer, leading to ice sublimation and the formation of a thin atmosphere. The cyclical nature of this process provides insight into the planet's changing climate and its history. Layered structures inside the ice have been uncovered by recent studies utilizing high-resolution imagery from orbiters such as the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, which implies that Mars has seen numerous temperature changes over its lengthy history. The stratum could provide a chronology of Martian atmospheric changes over millions of years, with each layer representing a distinct climate history. The ice caps are important for two reasons. First, they preserve Martian history for future generations to see, and second, they could hold materials that could be useful in exploration. Because it can be used to make rocket fuel, produce oxygen, and even drink, water ice is an essential resource for human missions. By studying the chemistry of these ice caps, scientists may be able to unearth gases that were trapped there and learn more about Mars's past atmosphere and climate. Additionally, ancient microbial life forms may have survived in these freezing temperatures. Investigating the subsurface beneath the ice could reveal them. Therefore, the ice caps represent the difficulties and possibilities that future Mars explorers and scientists will face. Exploring methane's mysteries. As far as planetary science is concerned, the discovery of Martian methane is among the most intriguing mysteries. Mars methane levels show seasonal fluctuations, which the Curiosity rover first noticed in 2013, suggesting that the gas could be emitted at specific times of the year from certain sources. The presence of methane is incredibly fascinating because, just like on Earth, a substantial amount of atmospheric methane is generated by biological processes. This raises the exciting prospect that life may exist, or at least have lived in the past, on Mars. Because of this link, researchers have been studying the Martian atmosphere extensively in an effort to determine where the gas is coming from. Dedicated researchers are keeping an eye on methane levels and trying to pinpoint where it could be coming from. Some scientists think the methane could come from hydrothermal activity or other geological processes, while others think there might be microbes hiding under Mars's surface. Mysteries surrounding methane detection have stoked discussions on Mars's history, which in turn has consequences for the habitability and atmospheric development of the red planet. The scientific community is filled with a mix of enthusiasm and skepticism as they delve deeper into the mysteries of Mars, as each new measurement of methane deepens the planet's intricate story. Natural mysteries, valleys on Mars. The enormous valleys and canyons found on Mars have long captivated geologists and are among the most spectacular geological features in our solar system. One of the most massive canyons in the cosmos, Valles Marineris, extends for more than 2,500 kilometers and plunges to depths of 7 miles. New high-resolution imaging research has shed light on how these valleys came to be, and the results point to a mix of water erosion and tectonic forces. These canyons include signs of water movement in the past, which gives us a fascinating look into a possible Martian era when life was possible. As Perseverance travels through these long-lost valleys, it takes samples of rock that may hold important information regarding the geology of Mars. As a record of environmental changes, the stratified sediments evident in these formations illustrate how water and wind interacted to shape the surface of Mars. Researchers hope that by analyzing these layers, they will be able to piece together the Martian climate from millions of years ago. The significance of investigating Martian valleys, which could contain preserved microbes, is magnified by the fact that they could serve as natural labs for the purpose of solving the riddle of the planet's origins. How dust storms function. A common aspect of Mars' weather patterns, dust storms have the power to alter the Martian terrain and influence spacecraft research. When these storms expand to cover the entire planet, they block out light and interfere with the solar-powered equipment aboard landers and rovers. In an effort to deduce the frequency, severity, and effect of these storms on Mars's atmosphere, scientists have conducted thorough studies of them. Researchers are able to better anticipate weather patterns and prepare future missions to face the difficulties presented by these intense events thanks to the data obtained. Research into dust storms on Mars has also shown that they play a role in shaping the Martian environment. These storms have the ability to drastically shift weather patterns, including cloud formation and the likelihood of precipitation, by changing the distribution of temperatures and atmospheric pressure. Since astronauts will have to navigate through the perils of a Martian dust storm, which might drastically reduce sight and damage equipment, the capacity to track and simulate these storms is critical for preparing human expeditions to the Red Planet. In order to create robust technologies that can endure Mars's ever-changing environment, it is crucial to comprehend the interaction between dust and the planet's atmosphere. Exploring the past, Antiquity's lakes. Martian ancient lake beds provide intriguing evidence that the Red Planet may have once supported life. Jezero Crater stands out among them all since it is the site of the Perseverance rover's landing. Sediments from this crater may have traces of ancient life, leading scientists to conclude that it formerly contained a lake. The rover is on a mission to investigate these lake beds because of the mineral deposits there, which may shed light on Mars's previous climate. Soil samples and rock formations are being examined by Perseverance in the hopes of discovering organic compounds that could suggest the existence of microbes during Mars's wetter epochs. The intriguing subject of whether Mars is habitable is prompted by the finding of ancient lake beds. Could you tell me what kind of life might have emerged in these old lakes if the conditions were favorable for it? Because they frequently include fossilized traces of Earth's past, sedimentary rocks pique the curiosity of scientists. Jezero Crater and other Martian lake beds may hold the key to unlocking the mysteries of Martian past, and by extension, the universe's potential habitability. If life ever did exist on Mars, any sample taken from these settings could be the key to unlocking the mystery. Mars moons revealed, Deimos and Phobos. Phobos and Deimos, Mars's two small moons, have long piqued the interest of astronomers and space researchers with their peculiarities and theories about their formation. Because of their low densities and atypical forms, scientists believe these moons to be captured asteroids. The bigger moon, Phobos, orbits Mars so closely that it is the only one in our solar system that experiences sunrise and sunset in opposite directions. A complex geological past is hinted at by the various grooves and craters that mark its surface. Even though it's smaller, Deimos appears to have taken less damage over the years based on its smoother surface and lack of craters. Additional information about the origin of the solar system and Mars's past may be uncovered by exploration of these moons. Human exploration of Mars may depend on their composition and possible resources, such as water ice, which could be the subject of future missions. Enticing as it may be, sending a rover to one of the moons, Phobos or Deimos, could be a huge step toward humankind's long-term goal of exploring the solar system and finding habitable planets to settle in. Learning about the motions of these Martian moons adds another element to our mission to discover Mars's secrets. Martian underground, gullies and caverns. New evidence points to historic volcanic activity on Mars, creating vast cave systems and lava tunnels beneath the surface. Martian geologists may be able to learn more about the planet's history and possible life forms from these subterranean structures. After years of speculation, new radar imagery from orbiters has shown characteristics that strongly point to the possibility of lava tubes. These caverns could provide a safe haven for microbes by shielding them from the radiation, high temperatures, and dust storms that characterize the surface. Future missions could be enriched by exploring these caves. Martian geologists could use robots with high-tech imaging and sampling equipment to explore these subterranean habitats for evidence of life's ancestry. Our perception of Mars's habitability could be drastically altered if we discover preserved ecosystems within these lava tubes. Furthermore, future astronauts wishing to set up shop on Mars could find suitable housing and supplies in these subterranean buildings. The function of water, recent discoveries. Mars has long been a topic of intense scientific interest due to the importance of water to the Martian narrative. Evidence from multiple missions strongly suggests that liquid water previously flowed across Mars' surface. Mineral deposits that are often found in places with plenty of water and the unearthing of old riverbeds and lake beds point to a planet that was much wetter than it is now. Evidence of salty liquid water has recently been found, suggesting it may still exist below the surface and provide a home for microbes. Evaluating Mars's habitability and planning future human missions requires knowledge of its water distribution and status. New information about the old Martian water systems has recently been revealed, mostly by the Perseverance rover. Incredible photos of stratified sediments taken by the rover show that water has been flowing here for a long time, and they even show signs of ancient deltas that sprung up at river mouths. These structures show us how the Earth's climate has changed over the years and what would have been favorable for life to flourish. The more these results are studied, the more of Mars's aqueous past scientists are able to piece together, and the more we learn about the possibility of life on the red planet. Exploring Mars in the future. There will be many great opportunities and difficult obstacles in the future of Mars exploration. Missions to further explore the universe and perhaps colonize it are now in the works at NASA and other space agencies. More advanced tools and methods will be available for studying the surface and subsurface of Mars as a result of technological breakthroughs achieved by ongoing rover missions. Collaborating with the European Space Agency, the planned Mars sample return mission will send back soil and rock samples from Mars to Earth for thorough investigation. This mission is a huge step forward in our knowledge of Mars, since it has the ability to find organic molecules and other evidence of life that has been dormant for thousands of years. We may learn a lot about Earth's past and its habitability from these samples, and scientists can't wait to see what they find. Furthermore, the possibility of relocating human beings to Mars is growing. Establishing a human presence on Mars within the next few decades is the objective of SpaceX and other private companies that are developing technologies to make interplanetary travel viable. Exploration by humans has far-reaching consequences because, unlike rovers, astronauts can traverse Mars in a variety of ways, including conducting experiments, collecting data, and exploring the landscape. The terrifying findings reported by the rovers should act as a warning of the unknowns that lie ahead as we get ready to go on this next phase of Mars exploration. Every new mission brings us one step closer to solving the riddle of Mars, but our search for answers is far from done. Are we alone? Exploration of Mars raises the age-old debate of whether or not our solar system is indeed unique. Curiosity and existential contemplation are sparked by the findings made by NASA's rovers. Mars may have had life in the past, or could have life now, which challenges our conception of life. What does the possibility of life on Earth and other planets in the universe imply if life was once present on Mars? The terrifying possibility that sentient beings once lived on Mars compels us to consider what this finding could mean. If signs of a highly developed civilization were to be discovered, how would people react? We would have to reevaluate our place in the universe and our duties as caretakers of our home planet in light of the enormous social, cultural, and scientific consequences. We are learning as much about ourselves and the cosmos as we are about Mars in our ongoing search for answers. Mars riddles mirror our universal yearning to learn more about the world and our place in it, as well as to test the boundaries of what we think we know. Skeptical and in-depth investigation are sparked by the disturbing findings made by NASA's rovers. The journey of exploration is far from over, and with every new mission, we uncover more about Mars's past and its implications for the future of humanity. What are your thoughts on these discoveries? Do you believe there is life waiting to be uncovered on the red planet? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more thrilling insights into the wonders of space exploration.